Hey Kitchen Peeps, Maggie here. We are going to do another of my favorite kind of easy, fast dinners. So, we're doing another chicken dish. Kind of got on a chicken roll, not sure why. But anyway, we're going to do something I call honey thighs. It's easier than the last easy one. So, get ready, buckle your seatbelts because this is going to take like 30 seconds. No, seriously. I mean, this is like so easy. So I'm going to flip the camera down. I've got all my spices out. You're going to like this. It's very tasty. It's very easy. So let me go down with this guy so y'all can watch the exciting steps. Am I in the camera? Oh, there we go. Of me putting spices in a bowl. But anyway, it's really simple. We'll do this. What you need is 2 pounds of boneless, skinless thighs. I have about 2.5, so I'm going to bump my seasonings up just a itty bitty bit, so don't pay any attention to what I'm doing, but listen to what I'm doing and follow what I put on the page as far as ingredients. But you need 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. Wipe that off so I don't get other seasonings mixed in with my other seasonings. 2 teaspoons of chili powder. I know this isn't real thrilling, but hopefully y'all can see what I'm doing, at least to see something. About 3/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to give it a full one because, like I said, I have a little extra. 1 teaspoon of cumin. 1 teaspoon of paprika. And then a 1/2 teaspoon, and I ain't going over with this, of cayenne. So that's what I've got in this little bowl. So you're going to put all that in a bowl. I'm going to throw a little handy dandy glove on just because I find it easier. You're going to mix all this up real good. Okay, tracking with me? See how easy this is? Measure out some seasonings. And if you're prepping ahead, like I hope y'all are, planning your menu, prepping your ingredients to make weeknights a breeze, to put a great meal on the table, then this is something you can do ahead. Mix up your ingredients. I'm just mashing up I've got a few little lumps in here because I buy organic seasonings. They do not have additives. They do not have anti-caking agents, which Lord only knows what that jazz is. So anyway, I'm busting those up. So there's your seasoning blend. But like I was mentioning, if you're prepping ahead, thaw your chicken, stick it in the fridge. Mix your spices, stick it in a little jar over off the side of your counter or in your pantry or wherever you keep your prepped ingredients. And then we have a little glaze we're going to put on. You can mix that up. You have those 3 things done, then I promise you this meal comes together in less than 15 minutes. And I'm not exaggerating. So there's that. Now, you want to get this seasoning blend on your chicken thighs. So one thing you can do, let me move some of these back a little bit. Am I in the field of vision? All right, there we go. One thing you can do is put your seasoning blend in a bigger bowl, put your thighs in there and toss it around. But what I have found in doing that is the thighs that get on the seasoning blend first, get all the seasoning. And then you'll have the ones on top won't be quite as seasoned up. And that can make some of them really super flavorful, some of them kind of bland. So I tend to do it this way. Doesn't take much longer, but to me it's just more even. So here's my, like I said, I've got about 2.5 pounds, just because that's what I had, of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I don't cut the fat off. You know me and good healthy animal fats. It's a beautiful thing. Now, having said that, that is if you have high quality chicken. You know, if you've got organic, pasture raised, hopefully local chicken, then you don't really have to worry about it. If you bought conventional chicken from the grocery store, and I promise you I'm not casting any stones on anybody, you do what you can do. Then I would definitely trim the fat, just because that's going to be where a lot of the toxic jazz that the animals eat gets stored, and you don't want that. So here's how I do it. I just put my chicken in like that. Kind of layer it up a little bit. And then I'm going to throw another glove on here in a second and really get all up to my elbows in this, tossing it around. But I don't know, maybe it's my pickiness, but I like to do it this way just because to me it's more even. And it's going to feel like you have a lot of seasoning, but you want a lot of seasoning. That's kind of part of the beauty of this recipe, is your spices are super, super flavorful. All right, get my other glove on. Now we're just going to kind of toss this around. Get your pieces covered really good. This is another one of those recipes, mamas with smaller teenage kids you're wanting to get in the kitchen. Let them know about their food. Let them learn about their food. Let them care about their food. Or if you have a husband that you need to do that with. This is a super easy thing they could do, and little kids, you know, little elementary school kids would have so much fun. And as long as you just tell them keep it in the bowl, they're not going to hurt anything. I only do it with gloves just because it's quicker. I can whip them off and go to the next step. You don't need gloves. Wash your hands, throw them in here, wash your hands again. It's all good. All right, see how that is? Nice and covered and pretty with all the spices. So, get that stuff out of the way. Got my little pan here. I've had my broiler on, so it's been preheating. Kind of, I don't know if you can see, yeah, y'all can see that pretty good. Get these laid out. You want to lay them out in a way that as much as possible, nothing is overlapping. Since, you know, I may be able to do this. Since I have a little more than 2 pounds, I figured I might be a little tight in this pan, but I think it's going to work pretty good. Hallelujah. Yeah, we all good. So, you know how it is when you cook mussels, which is what this is, it'll shrink some. I don't like to spread mine out a whole lot. I prefer them, in this case, to kind of touch but not overlap, because it helps keep some of the moisture in. It kind of helps it, I don't want to say steam, but sort of steam a little bit. If they're real spread out and they're individual and there's a lot of air circulating around them, they tend to dry out a little more. So I like it like this, not overlapped, but cozy, you know, touching, all nice and good in the pan. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this in the oven that like I said, I had it on, I've got my broiler on. I'm going to broil it for 3 minutes. I'm going to flip them. I'm going to broil them 3 more minutes. And then we have one more step and then we're done. So hold that thought. Okay. We are out of the oven. We did 3 minutes both sides on broil. And I just want to show you, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this very well, but see, I cut into this one. This one's a little pink, but we're going back in the oven for a few more minutes, so it's going to be perfect. I mean, it's getting kind of done there, maybe in the deepest part. This over here is looking really good. So, oh my gosh, this is going to be tasty, y'all. Let me get... Sorry, get my gloves, move this out of the way so I don't burn my skin off trying to do this next step. So now we're going to do a little glaze. I'm using the same bowl I did my spices in. I'm hardcore anal about reusing everything you can use to make less dirty dishes. Kind of always been that way, but I'm especially that way now with the restaurant because it's like, good golly. If I can reuse it, I'm going to, because one less thing to wash. So now you want 6 tablespoons of honey, which 4 tablespoons is a 1/4 cup. So I'm just going to do 1 1/2 1/4 cups. I'm going to cheat just a little bit just because I'm trying to go a little quicker. So, and then as I mentioned a minute ago, you know, this is a do as I say, not as I do. I'm doing a little extra because I have a little extra chicken. All right, so let's get this out of here. And I tell you what, I didn't get my little, let me grab a rubber spatula. I'm ridiculous about getting all my ingredients. Because look at this, if you just stop pouring, you see all that? I might as well just go over and pour the honey in the trash can. if I'm not going to do everything I can to get all the ingredients out of, look at all that. See, you just threw that in the sink, you'd be losing, that's probably close to a tablespoon. That's just heresy. Talking all this good, amazing local honey. No, it needs to be on the chicken, not in the trash. All right, that's kind of gooey. I'll just set it in the lid there. Get that there. Okay, now, see, we got our apple cider vinegar. You're probably thinking, what the crap is she doing? This is 2 teaspoons. So I'm going to do a little extra, remember, because I have extra chicken. But when you're doing 2 pounds of chicken, you want 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar mixed in with your honey. So I'm going to whisk it just to do my best to get it mixed up good. So think about it, y'all. We've got these, cumin, paprika, a tiny bit of pepper, garlic, this nice seasoning blend on the chicken. And now we've got some sweet and some tang. And all we gotta do, drag this puppy over here so y'all can see, because I promise y'all this glass pan, even though it was only in the oven for about 6 minutes, is hot. So what we want to do, and you can get real particular with this and pour this into a measuring cup and do it exactly in half. Or you can do the I'm going to eyeball it method like I'm fixing to do. And you want to get half of the sauce on the chicken. And think about it this way, and I do this with a lot of my dishes. If you wind up with a little less on this level, on this layer, it's not a big deal. So I tend to do just a tiny bit less than what I visualize as half, because we're going to get this back out of the oven, flip it over, and then this side is going to be in what runs off. So if you are slightly under, then it's okay. Oh my gosh, I wish y'all could smell this. Ooh, that's yum. All right, so we do half of that. Let's see if I can set that down without screwing something up. This is going to go back in the oven on broil for 1 minute. Yes, I said 1 minute. So hold that thought. Okay, we are back out of the oven after our big, long, terrible wait of 1 minute. And let me get my little tongs, we'll make this easier. We're going to flip this over. Y'all see how laborious and horrible and painful this recipe is? Can you believe I'm torturing you with such a difficult task? Oh, whoops, knocked a little of my goodie off. One thing, God, the smell is ridiculous. All right, now we're going to put the rest of our glaze, get this just, I'm just going to kind of go through here and dab it on all of them. Make sure everything gets some. And then I'll go back with any extra and give it another good little bath. And you want to use all your glaze. So if you, I'm usually a little bit stingier at the beginning because I want to make sure I make it to the end. So then I'll come back to the beginning and make sure everything has gotten. And if you don't have a little pastry brush or something like that, you can pour it on and use the back of a spoon to smooth it around. I've done that a lot. I just grabbed my little silicone brush because I like it. All right, now we're going to go back in the oven for a minute-ish. I'm probably going to do 2. Reason being, this last step is it goes in the oven until it's cooked. Well, for a minute or until it's cooked. So I've got some pretty thick portions. And I tell you what, I'll cut into one of these so you can kind of see. Hopefully you can see. I mean, we're close, but there's still some pink deep in there. So we want that cooked, obviously. I love me some rare steak, but I don't want any pink chicken. Not because I'm afraid of a disease, but ooh, it's like rubber. See, that's close, but no cigar. Normally you wouldn't want to cut it into every single piece of chicken, but I'm doing it just to show y'all. See that? Okay, so I'm going to go in for a couple minutes, and then we should be pretty dadgum close. So hold tight. All right, my peeps, there we are. Honey chicken. It's divine. Ooh, and there's a little piece there that I'm just knowing is screaming my name to sample. But that's all there is to it. And it is so stinking good. Let's see if I can flip this guy up without losing the camera. Yay, I did it. So that's it, right? Mix your spices, you can do that ahead. Thaw your chicken, you can do that ahead. Mix your honey and your apple cider vinegar, you can do that ahead. Even if you did those the night you're cooking it, it's no big deal. But if you do it ahead, it's even less of a big deal. It's an even tinier deal. Toss your chicken in the spices, broil it 3 minutes, broil it 3 minutes, baste it with the glaze, broil it a minute, baste it again. I wound up doing this one for 3 minutes, and it's perfection. So the other thing you can do is, if you want it to, like this isn't quick enough. What's that, 6, 7, 8 minutes of cooking time? Well, no, I did 3 the last time. So it's not 10 minutes of cooking time. 10 minutes. Who doesn't have 10 minutes? But if that's not quick enough for you, or if you want to make sure that, you know, if you're a little inky on the thicker parts getting done and all that, you can take the thigh, put it in a Ziploc bag, or like I double it up, and pound it and get it thin, more like a cutlet, where it's all kind of one level. It's going to make it bigger, so you may need another pan, but you can do that and have more like a cutlet style. Cooks even quicker because it's thinner. Or you can cut it in little chunks, like little bite-sized chunks, which is great if you're feeding little kids, because then you don't have to worry about cutting it up. You know, I'm always looking for how fast and easy I can get a good dinner on the table. You can do that. It cooks quicker because it's smaller pieces and it's more bite-sized. So just a couple little options with how to handle the meat. I'm going to, tonight, for my supper, I have some fresh broccoli. Look at that. Is that beautiful? Fresh organic broccoli. And look at this. Is that the cutest thing you've ever seen? It's a cabbage that came out of our garden. I'm so stinking excited about it. It's the first time I've ever had cabbage out of our garden. We got 2. We planted, I think, 11 plants. 2 of them made cabbages. The rest of them went to seed. I don't know what we did wrong, but whatever. 2's better than none. And then I've got some cremini mushrooms, fresh mushrooms. I'm going to cut all that up and kind of stir fry it together. I think I may throw some carrots in there because I've got some of that. And then do some ramen noodles. I'm kind of on a ramen noodle kick for whatever reason. I'm going to cook that in some bone broth. And then probably I'll slice the chicken, put it over the ramen with all those stir-fried veggies. I'm going to cook them in lard. Ooh, it's going to be good. And that's going to be supper. Doesn't that sound amazing? And how easy is that? If I had prepped all my veggies ahead, it would be even easier, quicker, as far as the night of. So that's it, y'all. Honey thighs. Got to get you some. It's super good. So love it, like it, share it, hug it, clap it, snap at it, whatever. Please do all the things on the YouTube daily. And y'all give this a shot. Let me know what you think. Have a great one.